excited to show it off. From the spacious service drive and comfortable customer waiting area to the new models on display under beaming runway lights. It really is the best way to experience the luxury of Cadillac. Once you step into our showroom, you'll have stepped into the future of the Cadillac brand and will experience the next level of world-class Cadillac customer service. So I invite you to visit our new showroom and find your new Cadillac. I look forward to seeing you soon.
All right. Oh, we dropped again, guys. We dropped again. Or my stream machine. I mean, I guess. Let's see. Let's keep this open, and then if it's dropped over here, and then we're gonna jump over here and try to see if it actually my internet on my machine. I'm trying to get new internet. Like that, yeah. Anyway, so let's start. So what I did was I bring over the service, like to-do service. This is just to grab the HTTP client and fetch like a previous to-dos in like a to-do JSON file. This is to show like how we can handle effect, right? The fetching API stuff with ngx-bang. Next we have just the model. Next we have the footer, right? Very simple. We can import com module now. Very simple. Footer input to the item, so each item, and then we have a to-do list. To-do.store.ts. We're gonna create a to-do store.ts. Yeah, it's dropped again. I think it's dropped again. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. It's dropped. I think it's dropped again. Interesting. All right, anyway, back to here. So we have a to-do store. This is where we're gonna manage our state. All right, it's just very simple. We're gonna create a to-do store, and we're gonna extend a state. Right, what our state is gonna be. So we're gonna have an interface of to-do state. Right, we're gonna have a loading of boolean, right, and a to-dos of to-do array. This is our state, right? And we have to-do state up, to-do state right there, and then we have a constructor. In the constructor, we need the change detector ref and our inertia state. So we're gonna inject the change detector ref here, and then provide it here, and then we're gonna put in our inertia state of to-dos of an empty, and then loading of false. Right, so that's my, and then have injectable here. Use this on my component. Do store, right, and then constructor. We're gonna make this public. To do store of to do store save. Now go back here. Everything looks the same because we haven't rendered anything. But now this is our store. Very simple, right? Next is we're going to our store to do. Actually, I want to slice. Go to store slice. There we go. Now we're gonna have like add to do. Hi, hello. I'm having internet issue, so just so you know, I'm having internet issue. It might not work. It might not work. I might drop, unexpectedly. So if you see me drop, then you know what happened. My internet dropped. All right, so all right, there we go. Actually, we need the filter as well, right? To do filter, and the default would be show all. How is this managing filter? Yes, from the route, but we need it in the state. Right, so we have that. Right, so next we're going to inject to do service as well, because we're gonna fetch out to do. So we're gonna have to do service. We're gonna grab the router because we're gonna navigate, and then we're gonna grab the route, actually activated route, which is we're gonna grab the params. So if you know, this is the params right here. Oops, something wrong. Oh, HTTP client, right? So go to your app module and put in HTTP client module here. Now that should be good. There you go. So that's now we have the route and everything, right? What we want to do next is we will load a couple of things, right? So we have a net method, which we're going to call from the component engineering net, right? And then we're going to have a this upload initial filter, right? So that we're going to create that method right here. So now the initial filter will be the param snapshot, the snapshot params. So we're going to grab that. We have initial filter equals this dot route dot snapshot dot params, right? And we grab the filter out of this. We're just gonna grab this dot, right? And we're gonna have a method called chain filter. It's gonna be to do filter, and we're gonna say this is state dot filter equals filter, right? Where does the state come from? State is a state proxy. This is available from a state streaming machine having trouble. So right, it's actually under the hood. It's called this right here with the initial state. So so now here we have the state, and on the state we have the filter, right? And we can just mutate the filter with the new filter coming in, and then the state will be updated. So now we have the initial filter. We can say this dot chain filter, and we're gonna do some something here. We have active. If it is active, we'll show active, right? If it is initial filter equals completed, right? We will do show completed. If not, we're going to show all. So that's my change filter, all initial filter. Next, we're gonna have a load to do's, right? And we're gonna have a method called loads to do. And inside of load to do's, what we're gonna have is very easy. We're just gonna set the loading stage to. Hey Josh, thank you. Man, my internet today just keeps dropping on my streaming machine, which I did not expect. I think the Wi-Fi module is just getting rusty. I'm gonna get that replaced. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the good luck. So in load to do's, like when we call load to do, we're just gonna say, hey, I have a loading state now. So loading state set to true, And then we have something called async connect. So async connect is that we connect to the proxy, right? To the proxy, and then a property on the proxy, we want to connect to to-dos, right? And then we say to-do service dot get to-do. We pipe on this and we have a tab. So when we have data, we set the loading back to false. So this is async connect, and this is how you would connect an observable to your state, right? And this is from a secondary entry point of ngx-bang called async, because the main library doesn't depend on RxJS. But if you want to have some like nicer or improved developer experience with like asynchronous operations, you might want to use async with like async connect. Right? Normally, this is what you would do. You have this the to-do stuff, get to-dos, the pipe, right? Actually, just subscribe, and then here's we have the to-dos, right? We have to-dos back, which is do state of to-dos equal to-dos, and then this state of loading equals false. This is what you would normally do. However, because now you introduce a subscription, this is a test HTTP client, so it's not as important to unsubscribe. You should unsubscribe anyway, but then you introduce a subscription. So then you're gonna have to manage this subscription, right? If you don't want to depend on the ngx-bang async, this is what you want to do. But then, I mean, why not, right? You can just do async connect and you connect to that. And then this will get subscribed to and will unsubscribed when the component is destroyed or when this story is destroyed. So now we have load to-dos. All right, next is we're gonna set up an effect. We call this change filtered effect, right? So whenever we change our filter, we want to navigate to a different params. Right? That's the spec of to the MVC. So we're gonna have a change filter effect, and we're gonna create this method. All right, for effect, we're gonna use a method called effect, pass in the state proxy, and what keys, what properties, what state do you want to watch? I want to watch for filter, right? And then you want to do something with this. All right, I want to switch on the snapshot dot filter. All right, if it's show all, I would do this dot router dot navigate to all. Right, if this active, I want to navigate to active, and if it's completed, I want to navigate to completed. So this is my effect. So effect will run. This is what I call an effect function. So when we're back. We might drop again, Brandon. I don't know if I don't know when I was dropped the last time. So if you didn't catch my explanation of the library name, let me know. But yeah, I might drop again. The Wi-Fi module of the streamer machine is having problem, so I don't know. I might drop again. My internet is fine. Like the internet, I'm testing. I tested the internet on my MacBook and it's fine. Only the streaming machine keeps like dropping, and then like reconnecting, disconnecting, reconnecting. So I might drop again. I don't know. If I drop this time, then good night. I'm gonna continue this someday. But yeah. Go away. Anyway, so effect is saying, hey, for filter, when filter change, do this. That's pretty much it, right? And we change filter with the change filter. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, that's a wow. That's a long drop. Yeah, I mean, like, because of Rx Angular state, and then you have all kind of libraries with a state name in it, and I don't really want it to use like ngx state or anything that related to state. I don't want to be like very official yet, so I use bang. So it's just that. There's no special meaning. Besides, I don't want to use state, and I want to use something Vietnamese. Okay, and the effect accept a filter because you might want to listen to like multiple state at one time. Right, so that is our init. Right. Next, I want to set up a couple of methods we're going to use. Right. So we have add to do. Right. And then we have a new to do, which is a string. And we just use this state dot to do dot push, which is push to our state our state. And for ID is going to be math.random. Text is going to be new to do, right? Created date, complete is going to be false, and created date will be new date. And that is add to do. Next, we have a toggle. This is to toggle completed and untoggle. For this, we're going to pass in the index, right? And then we do this is a state to do's index completed. This snapshot to do's index completed, right? You will see something a little bit like off here or odd or strange is that when I write, so right on the left hand side, right, the left hand side of the assign is right. When I write to state, but when I read from the snapshot. So that's like a rule of thumb with ngx-bang is that you read from snapshot and then you write to the state. The state is a proxy object, but the snapshot is the snapshot of the state at that time when you access it. So it is just a plain JavaScript object, right? But then when you write to the proxy, it will go through the handler, the proxy handler, and will do correct things. But when you read the state, you want to read from your snapshot. Right, so that's toggle. And then we have update. Again, we'll do number, and we have a text of string. Right, we'll do state to do's index text equal text. So that's update. Right. Next we have delete. Again, we're gonna use index. Right, and we just do a splice with the index, and we get 1. Finally, we have clear completed. Right, and this is the state of to do's. This the snapshot of to do's dot filter to do dot completed. Right, you can see that this is to show that you can mutate, or you can use immutability if you want to, or you can return like a new array, and it would just work. So you can do either one of them, but it just makes more sense to me at least that you mutate, because you will see when we actually use this on a template, it looks a little bit clearer. Then like there's no like async pipe and stuff like that happening. Right, so now this is the complete to do store. Not completed. We still have to have some derived state, right? Let's do the derived state. So the derived state, we have about 4 things in our derived state. So let's create an interface for like to do derived, right? What we want to do is we want to filter the to do's. Think of this thing of to do derived like your selectors. If you use ngx, like you compose different selectors and you come up with like a computed state. That's exactly what derived is. So for filter to do's, it's gonna be just to do, right? And we're gonna say has to do's. It's gonna be a boolean has completed to do. It's gonna be boolean, and then we have a incompleted to do's count. It's just gonna be a number. So this is my to do derive, and to create a derive, you would do derive. I mean, you can call it this whatever you want to. I call it derive. Thank you. And then on the state, there's a method called create derived, right? And then you pass in an object. You give this a type of your derived state, and you pass in an object. This object will have your state. Oh, not this is annoying. And I think we're back. Okay. Hopefully, I'm back when I explain this. So this get right here. All right, this jinx. Hey, I'm back. So can component store be enough with complicated apps? I would say so. Component store is pretty powerful, right? I mean, any of the state management solution right now for Angular is powerful enough for any complicated apps. It depends on your taste. Like, do you are you and your team more familiar with like the service, like the Angular way of like calling method directly, right? Then maybe you would be you would like ngx or Akita or Elf, or your team is more like separation of concerns and do not have like you don't care about indirections, but you want like clear flows of actions, effects, reducers, and stuff like that. Then maybe NGRX. Right. What I would suggest is to start with component store. Right. You just start with component store and start local. Whenever you have a feature component, right? Whenever you have a feature component, and by feature component I mean a component that is routed, that is associated with a route. That is your feature component. You have like /products, /order, /user, whatever. That is a feature component. Build a component store for that feature component. Like you have the effect fetch APIs, like update state, whatever you want to do with that. And then all of the components, all of the UI components in that feature, we use that component store, right? And then you just continue. And then your UI component can have their own component store as well. But then to the point when you be like, okay, I need to share some stuff. For example, authentication throughout different features. Then now you can create a component store, but with provided in root, which means that now the service or the injectable is global. So you can now that component store is actually a global store. So if you like that, if that's enough, that's good. Now if that is not enough and you need more, maybe you need like the Redux dev tools to debug or whatever. Then you lift your global component store up to your global store with ngx store. The downstream, the component store downstream wouldn't be affected, and you would just change your global component store into your global state with ngx store, right? You move from local to global as needed, right? So that you can keep them as much state as possible at the local level. Global level is bad. So that's my point of view, and that's my suggestions, and that's my recommendation for anyone that's asked me about state management. especially with ngx. Like, oh, should I start with component store or should I start with store? I would say start with component store at the local level. All right, back to this derive. So each key in the derive functions object will be a function with the derive get. So get is like snapshot. So if you look at the ngx-bang, you would have a snapshot method, and this snapshot method, right? This snapshot method is actually used to get the snapshot. So if you look at this dot snapshot right here, under the hood it's just a getter that called that snapshot method, right? And as the name implies, snapshot, you pass in a state proxy, it'll give you back the snapshot of the state proxy. Right. Get, it's just like snapshot, but this get method is actually linked to this derive. Derive is also a state proxy. So derive can have its own state and its own like chain detection mechanism. So when I say get this dot state, it gets the snapshot as well as enhance or augment the derive with this state. The reason is that because this derive depends on this state, so when filter change or when to-dos change, then filter to-dos will be rerun. That's all it does to link these two with some listenings or listeners by using get. And this is actually a random optimization as well, right? Because if filter to-dos doesn't change, then filter to-dos doesn't change, then like the part that is using the filter to-dos or has binding to filter to-dos on the template won't get re-rendered. That's the main point. Right, so now we have filter and we have to-dos. We can just filter it. So we're gonna switch the filter. Oops. Right. I should have. Oops. Have case show. Right. Show completed. Right. We have all of this. So now if show all, we just return the to-dos. If show completed, we return a to-do with a filter, right? If that. And then if active, just filter with not completed. And we have a default case. Yep, I need more stuff in here, so it has to do. Again, get this dot state dot to-dos dot length. Right. Next we have has clear to do again. Get this dot state dot to-dos dot filter dot length. Last but not least, we have incomplete counts for get this dot state dot to-dos dot filter t dot completed length. So that's our derived state. And last but not least, we're gonna create a getter for our derived snapshot. I'm gonna call it derived, and we're gonna just return snapshot this dot derived. Right, and that's that. And also you can see that this is type safe to do derive because snapshot is type safe. All right, so that's our to-do store. Let's go back to the component and start hooking up this component. So for to-dos, for the headers, I'm actually checking my note because I don't remember. Okay, we have the input, right? So we have app to do input, right? And we're gonna say if I'm loading, right? We just do to do store snapshot loading. If I'm not loading, then I will render this else, I'll just load it. Load that. Then on the to do input, I will have an add to do. So we have on add to do, and this will return an event, which is the new to do string. So this we're gonna do to do store dot add to do with new to do. That's one. All right, so that's the header. Next we have the to do list. So add to do list. Same thing. We're gonna render this when we have to do. So it's gonna be to do store dot derive dot to do derive. There we go. There we go. Has to do. When we have to do, then we render this with to dos. This is to do store dot derive dot filter to dos. Right. Next we have a couple of method here. So to toggle, so on toggle, we're gonna grab the index. Right. We need the index. Right. This dot to do store dot toggle, and pass in the index. Go back here. We have delete on delete, and for delete I think we need the index as well, so have index. Have that. This dot to do store dot delete index. All right, go back. We have update, right, on update, and let's just pass in the event next event dot text, and we have that. Just like to do store dot update index text. Save. Next I will have my footer, so it's gonna be app. Oops, oh, I don't really have this. I don't really have this, just that. Now I have app to do footer, and I need the current filter. Current filter with to do store dot snapshot dot filter, I think. And then I will have another ngf here to do store dot derive dot has to do, and then we need has completed. So to do store dot derive dot has completed to do incompleted to do store dot derive dot incompleted to do count, and then we have a filter, so we have on filter with event, right, filter, import this, and then we have to do store dot change filter. You know what, I can actually just call these directly right there, and we have clear completed, so we have on clear completed, and this dot to do store dot clear completed. Save, and I think that's it. Let me double check if I have my to-dos fetched. I don't. I need to restart, I think. Is it still going? Yeah, it's still going. Huh. Oh, I haven't run init. I haven't run init, guys. So ng on init, right? Alright, and I have this has to do start up init. Now I should see that. Right, so now I can toggle. I can go to stuff. I can add new to do. I can do that, and I can filter. So everything is, I guess, you know, right, reactive and stuff like that, without the need of async pipe. And you have this right here that have like set effect. right here, right? So you can see that when I click here and change the filter, my route actually changed. So then I have an async connect here that will connect to the to-dos with this observable. I can update this as well, so that, and I can delete. I can take this and clear completed. So that's the to-do MVC app with ngx-bang. So that's it. You know what? Actually, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's remove all of this. See if it actually works, right? This you can go away. Right. Add to do into the to do store dot add to do. We're gonna add toggle to do store dot toggle to do store dot delete. Right, and to do store dot update. Next, we have to do store dot filter change filter. To do store dot clear completed. Save, and it should still work. Right. Delete. Clear completed. And then that's it. That's your component state. It's being managed by this. So you can have like a dedicated store for your state, or you can just manage your state locally. Yeah, I mean I can just bring everything here. I mean I can just bring everything here over to my component. It will still work with a little bit of different handling. So let's do that. So we're gonna copy everything here, right? Go back to our component. Do that. It's gonna like all hell's break loose, right? I'm gonna remove the store. Now the first thing is I'm gonna do state. Actually, I need my interface as well, right? I'm just gonna bring this interface over to my component. Right, remove that. Oops, have that. Right now I have my state. I'm gonna call the state method, and then I use my to-do state. Oops, to-do state, not to-do store. Right, and it pass in the initial state of to-dos, that, loading, false, and filter of show all. So that's my state first. Now it's no longer create derive, it is derived. Right, and that's it, right? I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. Don't need that. Right, not this dot snapshot, it is actually snapshot. This dot state. This is snapshot. This dot state. And this is snapshot. This dot state. Right now it's just the component. Now when you manage, what is screaming? Oh yeah, I need that. This is become ng on it right now. So now when you manage the state, and like you're using the state method inside of your component without via the state class from ngx-bang, then you're gonna have to do something different to your template. Basically, you would have to wrap your template inside of an ng container, right, with the stateful directive, and then you pass in your state. Next, you can pass in your derive, and then you can grab the snapshot from this directive right there. You can grab the snapshot, and then you can grab the derived. Save. And then you pass your template back in, and I think you can just remove that. There's some typing issue with derived right now, so I'm just gonna just wrap these inside of any for now. Save. Now go back to my component. And everything should works. Just still works the same. Right. Filter. Right. Remove that one. Hit completed. Right. So the difference is if you use the if you use the if you use the store, the service, or the provider, then you don't need this stateful because the state class handles that for you. The purpose of this stateful directive, when you pass in state and derive, is to tie your state proxies, right? Remember, state is a proxy, derive is a proxy. This is to tie your proxies with the component lifecycle and change detection. If you do with state, like the component provider approach, you pass in the chain detector ref, so that thing's like tie in for you already, so you don't need the stateful. But if you're managing the state at the component level, then yes, you need the stateful directive. Right, and then you can just pass back the snapshot here and then the derived here. So that's it. I mean, I might change something here to but yeah. So I don't know why this doesn't work. Right, because from my counter, I don't have. I think I know why. So here, it's called it derived. And then use derive. Now, as I guess to do derived. This is still never. I don't get it. This has a state proxy of to do derived. And is this how you pass it in? I guess so. It worked. Right, to do derived, yeah. No. But yeah, let's try this one. I have that. Let's add like a double of number. Double get crystal state dot count times 2. Right, so that's my state, and then I will pass in for you derived of derive. Then I have let derive or snapshot count derived or derive snapshot. Right, and then maybe we can have derive snapshot. Oops. Derive snapshot equal derived. Derive snapshot. Yeah, it's doing it forever. I don't know. Let's double check this. Stateful. Yeah, I have that right there. Let's say equals never. Let's say it equals never. That's weird. I guess I don't need it. I think I can do equals any. Now I have double. So what was the change? What was it? I guess I can fix it real quick here. So I fix this right here. So let's remove that, right? Don't need it. Don't need this. Save. Let's release real quick here. So I'm gonna go to that north, that right, fix bang. Let's just typing for T derived, right? And then release better version. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Publish. Right, 11. Go back to this. Go back to this. Go to package JSON. 11. Save. Run npm install. Right now, go back to to-do component. Now I think it has the data. So no, it still does not. So I have derived, passing derived. I have let's snapshot, right, to do derived equal derived. Save. Interesting. I don't know. Let's see if it actually work on VS Code. Trust. I'm gonna go to do.component. Right. Yeah. I have the VS Code has correct information. So if I remove this, let's say that has to do that has complete to do that is complete to do save, and I think I don't have any more any. I'm gonna go back to WebStorm. It's gonna give you some error. That's fine. Let's see if it runs. Well, it runs like the Angular compiler doesn't complain, so it must be WebStorm. Everything works. I will try this. Nah. It works earlier in my component. It works earlier. So this is state of state proxy counter state. Yes, that is correct. So dumb. I don't know why, but yeah. We know it works. So it works. So you have two approaches. If you go to the documentation, you would see that usages, you have component and component provider, and it gives you two approaches to do your stuff, right? You have to bang usages, and you have component, and then component provider. And I walk you through everything that you need to know. Bang. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna call it today. I mean, you can try it out. It's on npm, right? It's on npm. Packages is on npm at ngx-bang, right? And use the latest beta version. So try it out. Thank you guys for joining the stream, for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.